Tap, tap. Okay. All right, welcome to another video. In today's video, we're going to talk about high jump and specifically initiating over the bar and how we get inverted. So there's two basic techniques that we can use to get over the bar. The first is the hip pop and snap. The second is the lean and reach. So you may have seen athletes that go out there and some have a two-arm carry, and then as they come up over the bar, they bring their hands down as they pull their hips forward. The second category you might see is they kind of do a bow and arrow and they use their right arm to guide themselves over the bar. And as they come down, they just keep reaching as they get that inversion. So we can look at those two different techniques and do some quick drills up here to copy those. So I'm just going to lay down on here on the mat, and I can focus on doing little bridges. So these are like kind of the progression of hips. So the first is just a standard bridge. I'm just gonna squeeze my glutes, lift my hips as I go upright. So I'm just here, hands are gonna be down, and I'm just gonna aggressively pop my hips up. The second stage is my hands are not gonna be above my head, and as my hips pop, my hands are gonna come down and slap my thighs. So I'm here, boom. The third stage is to initiate kind of like when I'm driving my knee. So if I jump off my left leg, right, I jump up in the air like this. So I'm gonna raise my left knee down. My right knee is gonna be up at 90 degrees, hands above my head. And then as I raise my hips, my right leg is gonna come down and my hands are gonna come down. So it's all gonna come together like this. So I can do that fast. Bah! And I'm gonna try to do it as fast as I can to where I actually almost launch my shoulders up off the ground and then come back down, right? Because it's a fast, aggressive movement. So I'm here, bah! All right, so those are some first stages. Then we go into stage 4. Stage 4 is I'm gonna stand here. I'm gonna be in this nice chair pose like this, but my hands aren't above my head. All I'm doing now is fall backwards and land on my shoulders with my hips remaining up. So I'm gonna lock my glutes. Okay, notice that I am landing, my hips never came down and touched. Then, once I get comfortable doing that, now I'm gonna get down into this nice crouch pose, into the chair pose, hands above my head, and then as I come back down, hips are come forward, and my hands are gonna come to slap my thighs. Here, boom. Now if you notice, my hands come down to touch my hips before my back touches. I don't want to do this, and I don't want to let my back already touch and then come down. So I'm here, up, initiate, snap. Okay, so those kind of get you ready, and then we come into the actual initiation category. So the first one is hip pop and snap. So when I come in to run, people will come in, step. Since I'm jumping off my left knee, all that I did is if I jump off my left knee. So remember, I was lying down and I was snapping. So I can just do a walking drill. Walk, walk, boom, boom, snap. Walk, walk, boom, boom, snap. And then I can kind of fall back on the mat. And I can start kind of going through this process where I'm in the mat. Boom, boom, boom. I do that a few times to get comfortable with it. Because what's happening is I'm coming up, driving my knee. As I initiate up over the bar, first I have to jump, so I'm going upright. And then I'm gonna create or initiate that inversion by jumping up 2 hands. And as I'm getting up over the bar, I'm just gonna really focus on popping my hips to come even with where my knee is. So the knee drive is super important, because if I don't drive my knee and I just try to pop my hips, it's like I'm jumping up like this and then I'm just gonna come straight down. I need to jump up, initiate. So boom, boom. I gotta really pop those hips up. So here's the hip pop and snap. I'm just gonna take one step and just show the initiation. So boom, boom, boom. Now if you notice, because I'm not really running on a curve, I'm jumping here and I'm kind of still landing here. When we actually high jump, if I jump with my foot like this, I'm gonna wanna try to land like this in a full high jump. But in this, when you're only doing one step, it's okay if you don't get that full twist just yet. We first wanna practice the steps, and then as we get better at this, then we more and more can work on getting that twist. So I'm here, I'll go from a step, and boom, boom. Now you can see I'm a little more in line, but I'm jumping and then popping the hips. So that is the pop and snap. The second way is the lean and reach. So I'm gonna think about taking the back of my hand. I'm gonna come through, and as I jump, I'm kind of doing a bow and arrow, right? Pull a bow and arrow back. So I'm gonna jump like a bow and arrow. My hand's gonna come up and it's gonna become a guide. So my hand is gonna guide up over the bar. I'm gonna use the back of my hands to guide to open my chest up. So I'm boom, boom, open my chest up. My hand is gonna guide myself up over the bar. Once I initiate and I kind of get my armpit up towards that bar range, my arm is gonna continue down, and I wanna think about taking the back of my palm and seeing if I can touch this before my back does. So I'm gonna try to jump, and then I'm gonna see if I can get my hand to touch the mat before my back does. So I'm right here, boom, boom. So I kind of got it, but it really wasn't enough. So I can now maybe really initiate that knee drive, and then really let my arm open up, and not just out here, but maybe if I come here and really extend, right? I don't want to just come here, I want to be here. So think about, like, if I'm coming to lift a weight up over my head, if I'm holding a barbell here, right, it's just going to fall down. I need it up here to actually hold it in place. Same thing, I want to come up here, really get that arm lying back, relax my scapula, come upside down. So now I can try to make sure the back of my hand tries to touch the mat before my back does. Boom, boom. I call that a success. So those are the two very basic beginner style of inversion techniques, getting over the bar. You can practice those, and then as you get more advanced, there's other styles and techniques. But I encourage you to go check out some professional athletes, and you can see how they modify and change based on their own styles. It's really cool. It's a really easy way to just kind of get you started. And I have a whole series on how to high jump, coaching high jump, so make sure to go check out my YouTube channel as well as my website, where you can find a lot more detailed information coming soon. Go check it out.